त्वमेव साक्षात् श्री महालक्ष्मी महासरस्वती महाकाली त्रिगुणात्मिका कुंडलिनी साक्षात् श्री आदिशक्ति माताजी श्री निर्मला देव्यै नमो नमः। ॐ त्वमेव साक्षात् श्री कल्की साक्षात् श्री आदिशक्ति माताजी श्री निर्मला देव्यै नमो नमः। ॐ त्वमेव साक्षात् श्री कल्की साक्षात् श्री सहस्रार स्वामिनी मोक्ष प्रदायिनी माताजी श्री निर्मला देव्यै नमो नमः।
When the wind blows high on a mountainside and a gale force hails, changing of the tide, there are fires that burn through your thinnest skies. When the wind blows high, there are tears in your eyes. She said she spent some time in Palestine with her Turkish jewels and the tube light shine, and she wrote Arabic rhymes from the tombs and shrines, from the London wind to the California pine. He said the forest and the rivers were his best friend, with an open heart, a message he'd send about living life simple and free. He grows up tall and strong, now like his favorite tree. All the rivers sweeping in the corners of the line. He gazed back at the faded shores of time, sparkling and the bubbling should never fade away. The light awake in the dawning of the day.
Namaste.
Namaste. How are you?
Namaste, Rita. Yes, I'm fine. Namaste, everybody who's watching. So yeah, that was just Namaste, the song by Stephen Day, who we were actually hoping to have with us tonight live, but it didn't work out, as it sometimes goes in life. But we still play some of his songs, and we just had a concert with Stephen Day here in Perth on Saturday, which was really beautiful. And he played that song Namaste, and he explained before, like, because Shri Mataji, the founder of Sahaja Yoga, she always started all her public programs that she did, and she did hundreds of them. She started by saying, Namaste, I bow to all the seekers of truth. And Stephen explained that that's how he came to create that song, to write this song. And he looked what Namaste of the different meanings and found that actually it means the light within me bows to the light within you. And yeah, that's beautiful, because that's what Sahaja Yoga is about, isn't it? To find this light within us in our heart. Yeah.
And also we have the left, the right, and the center. So it's that, being the center with the humility. And we always, when you're doing the namaste, so that's humbling down. So that's the other part that comes with it. So as we are respecting my spirit to your spirit, it is also that recognition and then humbling down, because the spirit, when I am the spirit, and so that dissolves the
Beautiful.
I. So the other thing, when you're clapping, so when you're doing music and songs and you're clapping, so that's the other thing, the chakras.
The hands, the chakras, the left and the right side coming together. Yeah.
And it helps to then open up to the.
Actually, I just read that somewhere. That was a lady that had been doing Sahaja Yoga for a long time, and that was sitting next to Shri Mataji at some point in her life suddenly. And she said Shri Mataji said three things to her. I've forgotten the two of them now, but one of the things that Shri Mataji said was that when we clap, we should always clap that we bring our fingers together, because it, like you just said, it's actually the chakras from the left and the right channel coming together and centering us. So yeah, amazing. Yes.
So again, we've got some nice music afterwards. You can try that and see if you're feeling a little bit blocked.
Just do some clapping along. Yes, good idea. Yeah. Sorry, your sound was just cutting out, Rita.
Are you able to hear me?
Yes.
Yeah. I was just saying today's topic is an interesting one, a little bit continuation from last week that we did, the feeling of vibrations on our hands. So we're going to be working a little bit on our liver and the Swadhisthana. So I'll let you explain that a little bit.
Yeah, so the Swadhisthana chakra is our second chakra. And the element of the Swadhisthana chakra is fire. So we've got the Muladhara chakra, and it's represented by the element of the earth. And then the second chakra is the Swadhisthana chakra. And the Swadhisthana chakra, actually, if you can imagine, it turns around our Nabi chakra. So we've got our Nabi chakra is the third chakra, just where our solar plexus is. And the Swadhisthana chakra turns around it and creates an area that we call the void. So that's the ocean of illusion that we all have to get through to reach our spirit and our heart. There you have the chakra chart, so you can see it very well. The second chakra, the number 2, the one of the main qualities of that chakra is creativity, and it's actually, it turns around the Nabi chakra and creates this big green circle, which we call as a void. And you see that the Swadhisthana chakra is also the beginning of our right channel. So we've got these 3 channels. The left channel is starting at the Muladhara chakra, and the right channel starting at the Swadhisthana chakra. And it's also called as the sun channel. The left channel is the moon channel, and the right channel the sun channel. So, like I said, the element is fire of the Swadhisthana chakra, and it stands for the male side within us. So we all have a male and a female side within us. It doesn't matter if we're a man or a woman, we still have these two sides within us. The male side is more our active side, our thinking, our planning, all our activity. We need all of that to get through our life, and it's good to have that. But if we get too much carried away on that right side, we overheat our system, and we develop more and more ego. So people that are only running on that right side, the typical alpha male is just like all about himself, and he's the best and can do everything better than anybody else, and goes faster, 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 is never in the presence actually, but always already away in the future, and is not really what we want to do, because what we need in Sahaja Yoga is we need the connection with our heart, because that's where our spirit is. And the heart, the spirit is on the left side in the heart chakra. And that's why at the beginning of Sahaja Yoga, we really work only on the chakras of the left side, because the main thing is really the self-realization, is the realization of the spirit within us. And when we are just on the right side, we get further and further away from our spirit, actually. And people, for example, that are completely on the right side, they often end up with a heart attack, because the spirit says, hello, you're missing out on the main things in life. Yeah, you're like somebody just working. You don't pay attention to your family. You don't pay attention to what your true desires or true wishes are in your heart. And then the spirit in the heart goes, sorry, but I'm have to shake you and wake you, and gives you a heart attack. Yeah, so that's like one example what can happen. Yeah, so that's the right channel. And like the liver, like Rita said, is very important for that right side, because that's the seat of our attention. And the attention is very important in Sahaja Yoga. We need a clear attention, and we need our attention to become one with our spirit. And the liver, when it works too much, so when we think too much, it overheats. When we're too active or thinking too much, it overheats. So the one technique in Sahaja Yoga is to cool down that liver, to cool down this too much of fire and heat in the right side, and to bring us back into the center, to settle us down. Yeah,
that's correct. And one of the ways, as Florian was saying, is that we're talking about the masculine and the feminine side. So, but also the other way, as you were saying, the right side is the sun channel, the left side is the moon channel. So that's in nature, that's how we look at it. So when we are talking about, as Florian was saying, if we are using a lot of that right, so you've got your left, right, and center. So as we are draining, so if we are, planning, talking, and it can not necessarily just the men, as we say, it's within all of us. So if, sometimes our jobs might entail that we are planning for 2 years in future, we are very time bound, we have a lot of work pressures and stuff. So all of these things that are kind of utilizing a lot of thinking. So we're starting to drain that energy to the right side. So as you can see, one is that the energy as it drains through. So that's where then we also get that little bit of blockage in the energy centers. And so at the liver, there's two parts that are there. One is the right Swadhisthana, but the other part is also the right Nabhi. Both of these affect the liver. So, and part of that is because the right Nabhi is the worry for money. So, you're then working, you're doing all that, you're just thinking about money. So all of that is just over activating those two energy centers, starting to drain that, which then affects the function of the liver. Apart from that, food also plays a big role. So we see that in the West a lot for us, where heavy food. So, you've got your chocolates, your creams, alcohol, obviously, we know affects the liver. Fried food, because the liver has to work very, very hard in breaking down the toxins that we are taking. So it's putting all its energy into then working, breaking down toxins, breaking down food, rather than being also able to provide that energy to the brain, because being the seat of attention, but it also provides the energy and the formation of your gray cells in the brain. So it's kind of taking all that out, which then affects the attention, which affects, creates other problems then. So so the liver, yes, becomes a very, very important organ in our system, not just in the sense of digestion and elimination, breaking down toxins, but also in regards to the attention, that connection with the divine, the thoughtless state, which then strengthens the attention, strengthens that connection with the divine also. So today's program, we will try a little bit to balance our right side, to kind of bring that calmness, to nurture it back into the center, to calm down our right side a little bit. Sorry about that. And try and get that going today. So shall we start?
Okay.
Or did you want to add something else, Florian?
No, I think that's all very good, what we've said now. That kind of, brings it to the point. And it's especially important, I think, in our Western society at the moment, is the right side is very dominant. So it's very materialistic, like you said already. It's this money, very dominant. And although we have so much in the Western societies, they're so rich, but people are so unsatisfied, because it's actually missing the point of what is giving us true satisfaction in the Nabi. And we're just overheating our right side. And it's interesting, like things like climate change, for example, feels like this is just the Mother Earth actually saying, hello, too much heat, guys, cool your liver down. And the funny thing is, we are all trying on the outside to solve these problems, but actually we can't solve it inside. We have to solve this overheated, over egotistical, overthinking, and cool our right side down and get back more to our spirit and to our true self. And I think then many of the outside problems that we have in the world at the moment will disappear. Yeah.
Because as you said, that's a lot of that, as you were saying, the materialism all comes from that dissatisfaction, comparison, the wants, as they say, wants are insatiable, wanting this and that. So once, so within, reflecting into without. So as we develop that satisfaction, you're happy with, one good quality thing rather than having 10 different, mediocre quality stuff. So that meditation within, establishing our satisfaction. So I suppose, reducing pollution and all that. So it then starts to reflect in caring for others and caring for the Mother Earth and nurturing and stuff like that, which will then resolve a lot of our problems from.
Yes, it would be amazing.
Absolutely. So let's start. Raising our, just have Shri Mataji's photo. We'll raise our Kundalini and Bandhan on to start our meditation as we normally do. So attention moving with your hand, left hand moving, right hand around. And you can move your attention with your right hand, with the left hand as it's moving up. And again, as we're doing, we're just requesting the Mother Kundalini to awaken within us. And just nurture the 3 energy channels. 2 bandhans for the second one. The third time. We raise up. And 3 knots. And I put what we call as bandhan, which is just a protection again around us, around the aura, for the 7 energy centers. We can either settle our attention at the top of the head. When you're doing this, just feeling the vibrations, or you can move your attention with your hand however it feels comfortable. Nitya, if you could just have Mother's photo, please. A nice few deep breaths in and out. So breathe in, nice and deep. Hold our breath for as long as comfortable. And slowly breathe out. Few normal breaths. Nice deep breath in again. As deep as you can, nice and slow. Hold your breath. And slowly breathe out. Nice few normal breaths. Now the third time, as we are breathing in, let's move our attention from the top of the head down to the base of the spine. Breathe in and move your attention down to the base of the spine. Hold your breath and hold the attention at the base. And as you slowly breathe out, bring your attention back up along the spine to the top of the head. And before we go into meditation on our Svadhisthana and the work on the liver, let's just balance our left and right sides. We'll place our right hand towards Mother Earth. If you're sitting down on the floor, just place your right hand on the floor. If you're on the chair, just pointing down. Just relax. Working on the left side. And as we said, the left side is the side of our emotions and our desires. Say, Mother, or Shri Mataji, as you feel comfortable, please purify my emotions and my desires. The element for the left side, for the Muladhara, is also the earth. So we just request that all our negativity, all the imbalances of our left side be absorbed into the Mother Earth. Shri Mataji, please purify my emotions and my desires. That all the imbalances of my left side, all the negative emotions from my past experiences, be dissolved into the Mother Earth. And we place our right hand back on our lap, and the left hand facing palm facing backwards towards the ether. In here, we are utilizing the ether element to help cleanse and balance our right side. As I said, the right side is the side of action. The Mother, please purify my actions. Let all the imbalances of my right side, all the negativity, all the heat of anger, reactions, anxiety, overthinking, overplanning. Let all the imbalances of my right side be dissolved into the ether. Mother, please purify my actions. Let all the imbalances of my right side be dissolved into the ether element. Bring both our hands on our lap. We just request the Mother Kundalini to please awaken within us, to cleanse our energy centers, bring our energy channels into balance. So Mother, please, by your grace, help me to go beyond thoughts and beyond doubts. Please help me surrender to my spirit, or the guidance of my spirit, to be one with my spirit. To let the joy of my spirit and the connection with the divine flow through me. We'll move our attention to the second energy center, and Florian will lead us through the meditation to work on that.
So for the second center now, we can work on our liver. So for that, we can take the left hand and put it on the area where our liver is, on the right side. It's like the right channel, the sun channel, can get too hot. And on the left side, the moon channel is cooling. So if we put the left hand on the liver, we use that cooling female energy from the moon to cool down our liver. And the same here, as in all Sahaja Yoga meditation, it's our Kundalini who does everything. We don't do anything. Our Kundalini clears and balances our centers, connects us to our spirit, gives us our second birth. So all we can do is just say, Mother Kundalini, please come into my liver. Please come into my attention. We can just keep saying that within us. Keep inviting our Mother Kundalini to come into our liver. Please, Mother Kundalini, come into my attention. Please, Shri Mataji, please, Mother Kundalini, come into my attention. Anything that's been bothering us, any family or financial thoughts or problems, we just surrender. Please, Mother Kundalini, please, Mother, come into my attention. Truly, I'm doing nothing and you are doing everything. Please remove all ego from me and let me laugh at my ego in the light of my spirit. And then we can put the left hand back on our lap. And we can take the right hand and just raise our Kundalini from our liver to our heart. We can ask inside, please, Mother, let my attention and my spirit become one. We can keep the right hand on our heart. Just breathe into our heart. And just allow our Kundalini to open our heart wider and wider. It's our Kundalini that touches the spirit within our heart and brings the spirit to our awareness. We're truly doing nothing. We can take the right hand, just raise our Kundalini all the way up to our Sahasrara. Then we can just put the right hand across our forehead. And with our attention in our heart, we can say, Mother, I forgive everyone and I forgive myself. Because where the right side, the ego, has trouble to forgive and kind of analyzes and condemns itself and others, the spirit is complete forgiveness. So in our heart we forgive. And I forgive myself and I forgive everyone. We can put the hand on our Sahasrara, just firmly push down a bit on our Sahasrara, rotate our hand, kind of rotate the scalp on our skull in a clockwise direction, to the left, to the front, to the right, and to the back. And can ask our Kundalini to please open our Sahasrara, to please allow us to be in the bliss of thoughtless awareness, of doubtless awareness. to feel and experience the joy of our spirit. Just raise the hand above the head. That's where we have our connection. Try with either hand, the left and the right. Just be in this blissful space above our head and our Sahasrara chakra. Then we can bring our hands together and humbly bow to the spirit within us and to our Mother Kundalini. Thank you.
Thank you. We've got a little balancing technique that we can use for our left and right, but I think we might leave that for after listening to Shri Mataji's talk, because it's just in such a nice meditative state. So let's listen to Mother's talk and then we will come back.
Today I am going to talk about the mind. People don't know what is this mind is. It is very easy to understand for Sahaja Yogis that we are the ones who react to everything that is outside. The reason is we have two horrible tendencies. One, which is the ego, and another tendency is that we are being trained that, or we can call it the superego or the conditionings. So both the things, our ego and conditionings, are all the time acting outside. This reaction, which is built in within us, is just like bubbles in the ocean. And these bubbles keep us away from reality. These bubbles are of thought, and they just blast you all the time in your head, and you don't know why they are. When you depend on this artificial mind of yours, then you have no discretion as to understand what is good and what is bad. This mind is the one where all kinds of evil things start. All kinds of quarrels, fights, and possessiveness. Lastly, the war also comes there. It is in this mind only, which is nothing but a myth, all these concrete, destructive ideas somehow or other come up. And then they start growing and growing. Then you find people whom you can impress also, put ideas into their heads. By reading, they learn, or by their lectures, or by mesmerism, whatever kinds of things they can do. They put your mind into such a frame that you accept these destructive ideas for yourself individually, or maybe for the collective. So this mind is just a myth, and we are working through this mind. We scientists, say Einstein has said that I was tired trying to find out the theory of relativity, very tired. he had some concept, like all scientists take up some sort of a concept and they try to build up their research on that. And then I thought it's a wrong concept that I have. Sunday he said, I went into the garden, I said, let's try and play with the soap bubbles. He was playing with the soap bubbles like a small child. And suddenly from somewhere unknown, he says, the theory of relativity dawned upon me. Many scientists have said that they don't know from where they get this idea. From where did they get it? It has a special study now people are doing to find out how these scientists got these things. And in a very Sahaja manner. Even the way penicillin was discovered or anything was discovered by these people was not through the probing or manipulation of the mind, but through some unknown force. It came into their mind, and that's what they thought, that this was from their mind. Some, but most of them realized, even Newton realized, that it is coming from something, some source which I am not aware of. As Sahaja Yogis, you know, it is the source of the divine power which is all pervading the Param Chaitanya. You know, because you can feel it. You know it is there. But even when you know, you must know you have to go beyond your mind into thoughtless awareness minimum. Always I tell you, meditate, meditate, because you should be in thoughtless awareness where you do not react. So what happens? You become a witness. You become the witness of the whole drama, of the whole scene, and you are absolutely at ease with yourself. No problem. And what you are doing, that you become an instrument of this Parama Chaitanya, of this all-pervading. You are just watching. You are a witness, and as watching everything, you realize that whatever you watch cannot react on you. But you know what it is. And this is what is the state in which you understand the reality of the whole situation. When you are in that state that you can give realizations to others, you can put them in connection with the divine power. But first of all, you must know how to become thoughtlessly aware. You have to go beyond this mind. And to go beyond this mind, the most helpful thing is Kundalini awake. Because she passes through your limbic area, pierces through your fontanelle bone area, and just takes you away, out, into the realm of reality. And the yoga takes place between your brain, I should say, your heart, with this all-pervading power. She is the one which connects. She is the one who does it. Many people are doing Sahaja Yoga, I know that. But it's difficult for them sometimes to get to meditation, to establish this thoughtless awareness, which is an extremely important state which you all should achieve. So many Sahaja Yogis are there, and I'm happy to know that they are getting deeper and deeper. But as long as they are in the turmoil of their mind, they cannot progress. Now once your attention goes beyond the mind, only the Sahaja Yogis will understand this point very clearly. When this mind goes beyond the thoughts, then the manipulation of the attention is very important. Then whatever you manipulate means you take this attention to this or to that or to that. You will be surprised how dynamic you become, how effective you become, and how knowledgeable you become. Because once you can take this attention to anything you want, immediately there is light on that issue, on that person, on that problem, and you see how it works out, how it helps. Sat yogi in Sanskrit is a very good at tatast, very good word, which I'll try to explain but cannot be really translated. Tatastha means the one who is standing on the shore and watching. That is the state in which you have to be. But as a result, you do not become a person who is not effective. You become extremely effective. If such people are there, you won't believe so many things can happen. Wars can stop. Peace can spread. People who are evil will be exposed. In Sahaja Yoga, you have said, Mother, there have been lots of miracles with your attention or something like that. I agree. But your attention also is quite capable of doing things which normal people can't. Because now your attention is purified, firstly. And secondly, it is manipulated with the divine power and is manifesting its powers.
Just keep our eyes closed and our attention on the Sahasrara. And as the Kundalini, as we were meditating, moving our attention at the liver, working on the right Swadhisthana, the right Nabhi, to establish the attention, the pure silence and pure attention within us. Move our attention to the heart. To establish the pure joy of the spirit within us. And raise it to the Sahasrara. To allow the pure bliss of the divine love to flow through us. With our attention raised just a few inches above the Sahasrara, we just watch our hands to see what vibrations we are feeling. A couple of things we look at, just between the difference between the vibrations on the fingers, which reflect the state of our energy centers. And just watching the vibrations on our hands, left versus the right, reflecting the state of our energy channels within us. So as the Kundalini awakens, it nourishes the energy centers, and as it passes through, it helps to bring it back into balance. But we can help this process through using a couple of techniques. One, as Florian was saying, we place our hand on that particular energy center that needs extra nourishment. The second that we can do is giving it vibrations or clearing out the blockage, where we just give in a clockwise direction. The easy way to always remember is that when you're doing a circle, it's always going towards the heart, down and around. So that always makes it. So that's basically a clockwise direction. So around just taking the negative vibrations, any blockages, and then just throwing it off into the ether and doing that. So when you're meditating, you're watching your fingers to see what energy centers need extra attention, extra work, and then you can just work on those. So an easy way to remember, again, the chakra chart, as we were saying, we start with number 1 at the base, at the wrist here, and then it's alternate fingers. So that's the first energy center, the second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, and seventh. So when you're working on yourself, you can just kind of think, okay, this is where I'm feeling, which is the first, second, third, fourth energy center, which will be 1, 2, 3, 4. So if you're feeling the finger, you can kind of decipher that way, which energy center needs that little bit more extra attention. If it's feeling heavier, so if you're talking about the heart, let's talk about the same one. So if you're feeling the hot and the heat on the left, you pay a bit more attention to the left. You can clear out, you can just place your hand, you can request the Kundalini to come and nourish and cleanse your left heart, the energy center on the left heart. If it's on the right, you would do the same, or you would cleanse the right heart. And if you're feeling both, then that would mean that it's the center. So that's how the left, right, and center work. So the other one, since we're working on the liver and the right side today, one of the techniques that we use is when you're looking at the whole hand. So if the whole of the right side is feeling heavy, usually at the end of a busy day, it's quite normal. And then you sit for meditation, you find you kind of cleanse out and it balances. But a quick way of doing that is then giving the vibrations to that side. So from the left side, you would take from the left, raise above the head, and give it to the right. Or you can look at that, you're raising the left side, bringing down the overactive right side. So what we've got after this, we've got the Hanuman Chalisa, which, did you want to talk about it, Florian, or? I can't hear you.
Okay, better now?
Yes.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I thought to just say a couple of words about Shri Hanumana. So we have on the right side is Shri Hanumana is like it's a deity from India, obviously, Indian background. So we have on all the chakras there are deities or the qualities of these deities, these principles that are reflected on the chakras or also on the channels. And on the right channel that is Shri Hanumana. So he's known in India, he's the monkey god. So very cute, actually. Often you see him as a white monkey, and he's very cheeky and can make his tail very, very long and do all kind of cheeky stuff with his tail. And he's very funny. He's making fun of the ego, actually. So, which is also good for us to know, because it's always one good way to deal with the ego is to actually laugh at it. I had one of these days where a lot of things that I was planning or that I wanted didn't work out, and that's actually Shri Hanumana who does that. He plays tricks on us, and he goes like and usually the ego then gets angry, but the best thing that we can do is just to see it and laugh at it. It's not easy, but I guess that's the best way to deal with it. So that's Shri Hanumana. He's like an angel. So in Christianity, that would be the Archangel Gabriel, that is on the right side, and on the left side we have Shri Bhairava in Sahaja Yoga or in Indian background, which would then be the Archangel Michael, that is on the left channel. So they're running up and down these channels and clearing them out. So we can also ask Shri Hanumana to clear out our right channel. And yeah, one of his strong qualities is surrender. He is completely surrendered. As the deity of the right heart is Sri Rama. So the the story talking also about Shri Hanumana is the Ramayana in India, and so Shri Hanumana is completely surrendered to this deity of Shri Rama, who is really the incarnation of Dharma, and very dutiful, but very benevolent and very loving, but very righteous also. So for me, Shri Hanumana is quite special because I'm from Germany originally. I live in Australia now since a long time, but still have this connection to Germany. And like, as we have all the chakras within us, they are, and all these channels, it's like they're kind of inside of us, but at the same time, they are also reflected on the earth and in the universe. And you find different countries reflect these qualities or these principles of these chakras, and Germany actually is reflecting the qualities of Shri Hanumana and Shri Rama. So so the qualities of Shri Hanumana also that he's very fast, he's very clever, very intelligent, very good at inventing things. So that's what Germans do. They invent lots of clever machines and do things like that, and are a bit fast and sometimes a bit too right-sided, but very righteous also. They're very correct. So I find that amazing. Having in Germany, they're really correct. They don't like it if it's not done properly. Yeah. So much about Shri Hanumana. Yeah.
It's beautiful, like you said, and he, as you're saying, he does run up and down the right channel and acts as a brake for when you become overactive. So he's the brake for the right side, and as you said, and that he works through the little tricks. As you say, you plan things, it doesn't work out, so it's kind of stopping that overactive or the planning, bringing you back. As you say, he's very surrendered, so it brings you back to that surrender within, to yes, your spirit, but also the divine. Let things happen as they do.
Yes.
And there was a little story, as you brought up Ramayana and stuff, there's a little story about Shri Hanumana that I always loved, which was when at the end of Ramayana, at the end of the whole epic, Shri Sita wanted to thank him for all that he had done, because he, helped her, saved her, and with Shri Rama and things like that, and gave him this absolutely precious pearl necklace, as a thank you. And he says, and I suppose that to me, that also reflects, that materialism, satisfaction, surrender thing. And he says, oh, is Shri Rama in there? And she goes, no, what do you mean? So he's like, he starts breaking the necklace, and he's like, and she goes, what are you doing? He goes, well, I'm looking for Shri Rama. And he goes, what do you mean? And then he kind of opens his heart and goes, well, Shri Rama is here, so why do I need else?
Yeah, it's a beautiful story. Yes, yeah, it's all that matters to him, and yeah, that's really what it is, isn't it? That nothing really matters. What matters is this love, that we have that inside, and that we have this love, that we're connected to that. Otherwise, everything else is actually useless if we don't have that. Yeah.
And everything you do is, you do it with the heart and with that surrender and the love, and that's kind of what matters. So we'll listen to the Hanuman Chalisa and sit in meditation. And what I'd recommend as we are listening to that, you can just keep your attention on the Sahasrara, watch your hands, see what you're feeling. You can work, balance your right side a little bit more if needed, or work on the energy centers as you go, or just sit and stay on the Sahasrara and enjoy the vibrations.
आञ्जनेयमतिपाटलाननम् अञ्जनाद्रि कमनीयविग्रहम् पारिजात तरुमूलवासिनम् भावयामि पवमाननन्दनम् मनोजवं मारुततुल्यवेगम् जितेन्द्रियं बुद्धिमतां वरिष्ठं वातात्मजं वानरायुधमुख्यं श्रीरामदूतं शिरसा नमामि श्रीरामदूतं शिरसा नमामि श्रीरामदूतं शिरसा नमामि आ आ आ श्री गुरु चरण सरोज रज निज मन मुकुर सुधार बरनौ रघुवर विमल यश जो दायक फलचार बुद्धिहीन तनु जानिके सुमिरौ पवन कुमार बल बुद्धि विद्या देहु मोहि हरहु कलेश विकार जय हनुमान ज्ञान गुण सागर जय कपीसुतिहु लोक उजागर रामदूत अतुलित बल धामा अंजनी पुत्र पवन सुत नामा महावीर विक्रम बजरंगी कुमति निवार सुमति के संगी कंचन वरण विराज सुबेशा कानन कुंडल कुंचित केशा हाथ वज्र और ध्वजा विराजे कांधे मूंज जनेऊ साजे शंकर सुवन केसरी नंदन तेज प्रताप महाजगवंदन विद्यावान गुणी अति चातुर, राम काज करिबे को आतुर। प्रभु चरित्र सुनिबे को रसिया, राम लखन सीता मन बसिया। सूक्ष्म रूप धरि सियहि दिखावा, विकट रूप धरि लंक जरावा। भीम रूप धरि असुर संहारे, रामचंद्र के काज संवारे। लाय संजीवन लखन जियाए, श्री रघुवीर हर्षि उर लाए। रघुपति कीन्ही बहुत बड़ाई, तुम मम प्रिय भरतहि सम भाई। सहस बदन तुम्हरो जस गावे, अस कहि श्रीपति कंठ लगावे। सनकादिक ब्रह्मादि मुनीसा, नारद सारद सहित अहिसा। यम कुबेर दिक्पाल जहाँ ते, कवि कोविद कहि सके कहाँ ते। तुम उपकार सुग्रीवहि कीन्हा, राम मिलाय राजपद दीन्हा। तुम्हरो मंत्र विभीषण माना, लंकेश्वर भय सब जग जाना। युग सहस्र योजन पर भानु, लील्यो ताहि मधुर फल जानु। प्रभु मुद्रिका मेली मुख माही, जलधि लांघि गए अचरज नाही। दुर्गम काज जगत के जेते, सुगम अनुग्रह तुम्हरे तेते। राम दुआरे तुम रखवारे, होतन आज्ञा बिन पैसारे। सब सुख लहे तुम्हारी सरना, तुम रक्षक काहू को डरना। आपन तेज सम्हारो आपे, तीनों लोक हाँकते कांपे। भूत पिशाच निकट नहीं आवे, महावीर जब नाम सुनावे। नाशे रोग हरे सब पीरा, जपत निरंतर हनुमत बीरा। संकट से हनुमान छुड़ावे, मन क्रम वचन ध्यान जो लावे। सब पर राम तपस्वी राजा, तिनके काज सकल तुम साजा। और मनोरथ जो कोई लावे, सोई अमित जीवन फल पावे। चारों युग पर ताप तुम्हारा, है प्रसिद्ध जगत उजियारा। साधु संत के तुम रखवारे, असुर निकंदन राम दुलारे। अष्ट सिद्धि नवनिधि के दाता, असवर दीन जानकी माता। राम रसायन तुम्हारे पासा, सदा रहो रघुपति के दासा। तुम्हारे भजन राम को पावे, जन्म जन्म के दुख बिसरावे। अंत काल रघुपतिपुर जाई, जहाँ जन्मी हरि भक्त कहाई। और देवता चित्तन धरई, अनुमत से सर्व सुख करई। संकट हरे मिटे सब पीरा, जो सुमिरै हनुमत बलवीरा। जय 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 हनुमान गोसाई, कृपा करहु गुरुदेव की नाई। जो शत बार पाठ कर जोई, छूटहि बंदी महासुख होई। जो यह पढ़े हनुमान चालीसा, होय सिद्धि साखी गौरी सा। तुलसीदास सदा हरि चेरा, कीजय नाथ हृदय मह डेरा। पवन तनय संकट हरन, मंगल मूरति रूप। राम लखन सीता सहित, हृदय बसहु सुरभूप। साक्षात् श्री आदिशक्ति माताजी, श्री निर्मला देव्यै नमो नमः।
Shri Mataji, everyone, good night. And thank you for your vibrational presence today.